Welcome to Caribbean Global Network News and Sports. I am Scott Wilson. In today's headlines, IMF chastises Jamaica over corruption. And in sports, work ethic of Windies squad hailed. No local cases of measles in Jamaica, says Health Minister. Minister of Health Dr. Christopher Tufton has advised the country that his ministry is monitoring the island for any reported case of measles. The move, Tufton said, is against the backdrop of the recent increase in cases of the disease in the United States and across the region. Tufton told Parliament that in response to the increase in cases worldwide, his ministry since the beginning of the year enhanced its response, including sensitization and training of approximately 60 healthcare professionals in the health regions in measles outbreak response, with mandatory training of rapid response teams across the island. At the same time, opposition People's National Party Dr. Dayton Campbell challenged Tufton's statement, insisting that a case of measles was recorded at a private hospital on the western end of the island. Tufton, in response, clarified that the person who was treated had measles in another jurisdiction and developed complication on their arrival in the island. Quote, "There are no cases of measles in Jamaica," end quote, Tufton insisted. Caribbean looks to EIB to save LIAT. Caribbean governments are looking towards securing financial assistance from the European Investment Bank, EIB, for the regional transportation sector amid concerns that shareholder governments may be forced to close down the cash-strapped regional airline LIAT. Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, whose country is one of the 4 major shareholders of the Antigua-based airline, has confirmed that she has started discussions with the EIB on support for the region's transportation sector. While she did not name the struggling airline by name, she told reporters that during her recent visit to Canada and the United States, she met with the EIB Senior Vice President Alexander Stubb, adding that the European Bank has expressed a willingness to assist with regional projects. Quote, "And as the lead Prime Minister for the single market and single economy, I also had to engage in discussions with them on opportunities within the transport sector, in particular with respect to the EIB and its role in the region," end quote, Motley said. IMF chastises Jamaica over corruption. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, is urging the Jamaican government to immediately address public sector governance shortcomings to spur further economic growth. In a report following its 5th review under the standby arrangement for Jamaica, the IMF said achieving higher economic growth calls for action from the public and private sectors. According to the IMF, the fiscal loosening with the reduction of the primary surplus by 0.5% of GDP supports growth and provides the space for spending on areas such as infrastructure, school meals, and transportation. The fund argued that further cuts to distortionary financial taxes will support economic activity and job creation, but noted that issues including corruption must be addressed. And in sport, work ethic of Windies squad hailed. Assistant coach Roddy Estwick has hailed the work ethic of the West Indies squad during the ongoing training camp. The Caribbean side is preparing for the Tri-Nation Series in Ireland involving Bangladesh starting next week, and are also intensifying their planning for the ICC World Cup, which bowls off May 30 in England. Quote, "They have been tremendous. We can't fault them. They have really worked hard and the senior players are stepping up," end quote, said Estwick, recently recalled to the coaching staff following a management overhaul by Cricket West Indies. Estwick has been named alongside new interim head coach Floyd Reefer, fast bowling coach Corey Collymore, and fielding coach Ryan Griffith, as the squad has been put through their paces. The former Barbados seamer said there were several areas which had needed attention and players had gone about addressing them with intensity. Shannon Gabriel says he has much to offer ODIs. West Indies fast bowler Shannon Gabriel still believes he has much to offer to one-day international cricket despite having not played in the limited overs format for the regional outfit in almost 2 years. The 30-year-old last featured in a 50-over match for the West Indies in 2017 during the Windies tour of New Zealand. However, with the Tri-Nation Series in Ireland and the ICC World Cup looming, Gabriel says his wicket-taking ability was still very much needed. Gabriel said the time spent at the camp was extremely crucial as the regional team's last competitive series was against England over a month ago. He said he had used the time to work on his depth bowling and to improve his Yorkers and slower deliveries. That's it for CGN News and Sports. I am Scott Wilson. Pleasant viewing.